Hi, my name is Andrew Sears. I'm the president of City Vision University. I'm going to give you an overview of our multicultural counseling course. I'm really excited about this course. Cross-cultural topics and multicultural counseling are some of the most important things for our university, and it's really where a lot of our core competencies lie. We work with hundreds of organizations that are working with thousands of clients, largely in multicultural settings and working in at-risk communities. Our faculty have some amazing experience in this space. I myself have worked and lived in context for the majority of my life that were multicultural and where I was a minority um, as a white individual, but have worked in and grew up in Black communities. Um, so a little bit of the background of this course. So City Vision's approach to a lot of our counseling courses is we combine three perspectives and often three books. So we take a core topic that's going to be aligned with LPC, Licensed Professional Counselor Standards, called KCREP. So we're using this book called Developing Multicultural Counseling Competence. And that's kind of a requirement if you're going to become a licensed counselor. So we kind of have to start with that. Some students may or may not agree with everything that's in that book, but it establishes a really good foundation. Then, because of the focus of City Vision, where more than 80% of our partners are serving in at-risk communities and with a particular focus on addiction, we're going to use SAMHSA's Tip 59 on improving cultural competence, in particular in working in addiction counseling. And then we're going to provide Christian integration with this book, Healing for the City, Counseling in an Urban Setting. Now, this book is a little bit older, but the reason why we're using this book, even though it is older and some of the examples are, a little bit dated, is because it lies at the center of our values. A lot of our students are working in urban ministry and Christian context, so it provides really good coverage of this topic. Even though it's not taking it, it's not going to be as clinical as say, this KCREP book. So what are you going to do in this course? Well, a big part of it is focused around identifying the counseling competencies needed to serve multicultural clients and developing those. But to do that, we want you to also reflect on your own cultural identity development and identify personal growth strategies for your own multicultural counseling competence. And one of the assignments we're going to have you do is to reflect on how unconscious bias can influence the counseling process. We also want you to be able to analyze the relationship between systemic injustice, trauma, and rates of addiction between groups. One of the live sessions you're going to do in this meeting is where you're going to practice the DSM cultural formation interview and mock counseling sessions. And one of the things you're going to do throughout this course is apply multicultural counseling competencies to case studies of diverse clients across race, ethnicity, gender, social class, and other factors. Now, one of the biggest challenges in multicultural counseling is it really focuses on head-based learning, and there's a lot of other things you have to learn, but the head-based learning part of this is, we use Bloom's taxonomy. So we're going to have you, read some stuff, watch videos, and your goal is to remember. So in that, you're going to be tested for that in low-stakes quizzes so you can understand, and then there'll be a lot of discussion on the forums and the live meetings. Now, in this course, these are going to be pretty heavyweight forums, and we want you to do those in a lot of courses, I would have put these questions in papers, but one of the advantages of putting these questions in forums is you're going to learn from the perspective of other students. So, and then a lot of the course, you're going to be doing journaling, case studying, and doing case studies. Now, one of the biggest challenges to learning in a course like this is, a lot of students will just go through the motions and they'll learn, about the topics. But really, to bring change, what we really need to have happen is, what's called effective learning. Now, what that is you start off and, using the example of, say, as a Christian, you might attend church. So you're here, you're participating in the course, so you're at least receiving. So you got step one. But some of these topics, you may want to learn about, some of them you may not want to learn about. So part of what we want to do is we're trying to get your heart to be passionate about this because you want to change lives, you want to help your client. Some of these topics you may be like, is this relevant? Is it not? Or do I agree with it or do I not? But we want you to be passionate about learning about this and then, helping to value a lot of the concepts that you're learning on this. So, for the topic of systemic injustice, you internalize the value of that topic. And then is it going to, change your practice in counseling? And are you going to characterize this? So ultimately, as Christians, we're trying to live like Jesus, to be multicultural counselors. On one level, you can just improve your technique, but not actually have any internal change. So that's kind of like the pastor who preaches good sermons, acts like a good pastor, but really isn't following Jesus. That's not a good practice. So same type of thing in multicultural counseling. So how do you do those things? So I mentioned that City Vision has a lot of courses, a lot of expertise in this domain. So this course, this is a multicultural competency map, and I'll talk about this more in a later lecture. But you have the individual level, the clinical level, and then the organizational level. This course is really focused on the individual and clinical level, and you have different groups and you have different domains of competence. But a lot of our other courses, if you're interested, a lot of our other courses are really focused on the organizational level. They're in our nonprofit management or business or ministry domains, a cross-cultural management course, Christian community development course, and leadership in diverse communities. So hopefully you find all this helpful. And if you have any questions, please ask your faculty member. Thanks.